Here's your Farm and Ranch Report from the Northern Ag Network.
Hello everyone, it's time for today's Farm and Ranch News. Conrad Burns had a vision over 40 years ago to create the Northern Ag Network. And with his passing at the age of 81 on April 28th, we'd like to share part of a segment of his introduction into the National Association of Farm Broadcasting's Hall of Fame. It's narrated by his good friend, country music singer Leroy Van Dyke.
He served in the United States Marine Corps for 2 years, then became a station agent for Ozark Airlines in Kansas City. He took a job with the American Polled Hereford Association and traveled for the Polled Hereford World for 5 years. That got him back to Montana, where he managed the Northern International Livestock Exposition. He handled advertising and public relations for the Billings Livestock Commission Company and the Riverton Auction Company. In 1967, he asked Phyllis Kuhlman, daughter of Irwin Kuhlman, if she would like to go to a movie, and she said, "Yes, I'll marry you." That, however, is not her story.
I was doing business with her dad. I worked his bull sale, so I even got a couple of bulls, and I got his daughter too.
Conrad's knowledge of agriculture and his friendly demeanor allowed him to carve out a spot on KULR-TV as Farm and Ranch Director. However, he was terminated from that position because of his habit of wearing cowboy boots into the building and leaving chunks of manure on the entryway rug. Management thought it was bad public relations for visitors to have to smell and sidestep Conrad's droppings.
They sent a new station manager in up here, and he didn't like cowboys, and he walked by me and he took a deep breath and he said, "My goodness, you're not going in there smelling like that." But he was from California, didn't know anything, you know, hardly. His poor man, he was just not very smart. And
So in 1975, he hooked up with Dale Fairley and they started a radio network. Conrad threw in with Colorado-based Evan Slack to produce daily broadcasts on stations across Montana and Wyoming.
But he was on the Intermountain Network and very popular, you know. Evan was higher, 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 and they liked that.
His rate card was in the low single digits, but he kept at it and put a radio station on the air in Laurel, Montana to boost his reach. The Northern Ag Network managed to get a spread of stations across Montana and northern Wyoming all the way to Casper. The 60-second spot rate got close to $100, and he was on his way. Burns and Slack took their first Doan survey and found that they beat their nearest competitor 3-1. Their publicity declared that NBS was the dominant force in Montana farm broadcasting. A highly successful move by Conrad was to hire Taylor Brown in 1979. A ranch kid just out of college, Taylor learned the business from Conrad and eventually purchased Northern Broadcasting in 1986. In the years that followed, he expanded the network to make Conrad's dream an even stronger force in broadcasting. It was said by many that Conrad knew agriculture, but it was his bigger-than-life personality that made it all work.
Lamb market this week, my heaven, 70-60 top on the lamb.
And for the full video on Conrad, please visit us online at northernag.net. We'll be right back.